guys, welcome back to Beyond the Realms, and the film I'm going to be reviewing today is from Alfred Hitchcock, and it is a film that many people consider to be his ultimate masterpiece, and it is Vertigo. Now, I actually didn't know a whole lot about Vertigo until recently. I'd heard the name and stuff, but never really looked into it a whole lot. And then I started hearing, more and more people talk about it. This version had been released, and then also Sight and Sound, whatever that is, but they released like this list of the 250 best films of all time. It's like a collection of all the best critics put together their list, and they placed this film at #1, even above Citizen Kane. So it really piqued my interest, and I found it on sale and figured I'd pick it up. And it tells a story of John Ferguson, which is played by James Stewart, which you see here on the cover. It starts off showing a tragedy happen. A tragedy happens, and it causes John to retire. He decides to step away from being a detective. But John's friend, Gavin, he wants him to come out of retirement to follow his wife, Madeline. And Gavin believes that Madeline is haunted by a ghost of Carlotta Valdez, and he's just convinced that she's being haunted by her. And John is very reluctant to do it. He says he'll put somebody else on the case, but Gavin talks him into doing it. So he follows Madeline around. He sees her at a gallery looking at a picture of Carlotta, and Madeline's hair's done up like her. It looks like she's trying to look like her and stuff like this. And so he keeps following her around. He stops her from committing suicide, and he eventually starts becoming more and more involved with Madeline. Madeline, starts to fall for him, and things just continue to get more complex as the story goes along, and eventually things are nothing as they seem whatsoever. John starts to find stuff out that's new revelations and things about Madeline and about Gavin, and it really takes its toll on John. I really don't want to tell a whole lot more of the story other than that for people that haven't seen it. But guys, I can't say enough good things about this film. I was just so impressed by it. There's just so many complexities to this story, and not only to the story and what happens in it, but the characters, the way they evolve as the story goes along, especially John. He goes from this, this calm, retired type guy, just very, mild-mannered, mild-natured, who spends his days with one of his ex-fiancées. I guess they, somehow were able to stay friends. And he goes from that to a guy that's very concerned for Madeline. He really wants to get to the bottom of what's going on with her. And then, as other revelations happen, he becomes a broken man that's put in a mental ward. He's tortured by what's happened. And then he just basically almost goes nuts by another revelation that happens and basically loses his mind almost. And James Stewart is just so amazing in this. Just absolutely incredible. And, there's just not a whole lot of people that could pull off a role like this. It just shows how much of a talented actor he was. Kim Novak as Madeline is really awesome, too. As a character that also evolves as the story goes along, and there's just twists that happens with her that forces the character into totally changing also, and it's twists that I don't want to mention, I don't want to give away too much, but Kim Novak is just awesome in this. Tom Helmore as Gavin is really good. Just straight and to the point type guy, but there's just so many scenes in this that are just memorable, and this is the type of film that it really demands repeat viewings, I think, because of the complexities of the story. And sometimes I know when people hear a complex story, it can automatically raise up people raise up their guard, they don't want something that's too complex, but It's not. I mean, it's still very easy to follow. You know, you're not going to get lost. It's not something that's too heady that you really got to think about. I mean, it's all laid out for you very well, very easy to follow. And, I mean, I can totally understand why people consider this Hitchcock's masterpiece, because, I mean, it's really a phenomenal film. And there's a dream sequence in this that happens with James Stewart that's just so great. And I mean, especially you consider, you know, this came out in 1958. I mean, Hitchcock really utilized all of the filmmaking tools that are available at that time to pull off some of these wild-looking effects during this dream sequence. It's all shot in San Francisco. It shows the Golden Gate Bridge, a bunch of really cool scenery from San Francisco. And, you know, the ending of the film, it just, you know, all of this film just really threw me for a loop. A lot of the changes that happen within the story, and then when you get to the end, it's like, wow, man, I never saw what was coming at the end. And I think that's so great, you know. It's a film that really kept me guessing throughout, and it just has such a downbeat and sad ending. I mean, it's a sad film, really. But it's just so awesome in so many ways, guys. I can't say enough about this. This is the 100th anniversary edition with a nice slipcover. Universal really went all out with this. This does not have a single Blu-ray release. This is just DVD. But you can get this film in the new Hitchcock Legacy Collection Blu-ray set that was just released October 30th. It has this and 14 other films, which it's on my must-buy list. I'm hoping with Christmas money I can pull that off. But, you know, I'm just kind of ashamed to say, before this film, the only other Hitchcock film I'd seen, or two films I'd seen, is The Birds and Psycho, and then this. And, you know, all three of the films are just totally incredible. And it's actually, I actually went out and bought this since then, Hitchcock films, 20 films. I picked this up at Target for $5. This is all films that he made before coming to America. This is all his British films. And I've actually watched a few on here that I may review coming up also, so I have a lot to say about them. But $5, guys, well worth getting. But I'm definitely wanting to advance my knowledge of Hitchcock, especially after seeing this, because I mean, it just shows how much of a master storyteller this guy was. This is originally based off of a book. I'm not sure anything of how close it is to the book or whatever, but regardless, Hitchcock made an amazing piece of cinema here that I'm just so glad to have this in my collection, guys. And yeah, check this out. I mean, definitely give it a watch. It's not a horror film. It has a lot of suspense in it. It's the type of film that's going to keep you guessing. And, you know, like I said, with the downbeat, sad kind of ending, I mean, I think it can appeal to horror fans also. Hitchcock just had such a way with telling stories that just can't be matched, and that's why he's held in such high regard still this day and always will be. So, yeah, guys, pick this up. This is one I'm going to say just go out and buy. You will not regret it. If you appreciate great films, if you're a cinephile, just buy it, man. I mean, it's so incredible, and you will not be disappointed, for sure. And so, guys, I'm going to give this film a 10 out of 10. I mean, that's not a rating I throw around a lot. You've heard me saying it a lot for films here lately, but I've been watching a lot of great films. It's just really amazed me, and this goes right along with Carnival Souls and some of these other films that I'm just like, holy shit, it's just awesome, man. Like Vampire also, that's another one. So yeah, that's Vertigo. I won't ramble on anymore. I hope I've said enough to encourage you to go out and pick this up. Amazing, guys. So I hope you all are doing well. You're having a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Later.